All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're looking at your content strategy a little differently. Think of it like a Hollywood production. And the goal? Well, it's to land the starring role in the biggest new blockbuster on the internet, AI search. So let's roll camera on scene one.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to understand the set. And right now, that set is going through a massive, and I mean seismic, shift. The world of search, as we all knew it, is basically being rewritten. And honestly, the script is changing by the day.
And here it is, the inciting incident for our story. Gartner is forecasting that by 2026, traffic from classic search engines, the blue links we've clicked on for decades, is going to drop by a staggering 25%. A quarter of the clicks just gone. And why? It's all because of AI chatbots and these new generative answers.
This really sums up the new reality, doesn't it? That 25% drop is happening because AI is just taking over the top of the page. The answers are right there, served up in the AI overview. So, and this is the crucial part, if your brand isn't cited directly in that box for a whole lot of users, you simply don't exist. The classic blue links, they're becoming the background extras.
Now, what's really wild is the speed of this takeover. According to data from SEMrush, AI overviews literally doubled their footprint in US desktop searches in just 1 quarter. They now show up in about 13% of all queries. So yeah, this isn't some far-off future trend. It's happening right now as we speak.
Which, of course, brings us to the most important question. In this whole new landscape, how do you make sure your content isn't just part of the scenery? How do you even audition, let alone win, that starring role in the AI-generated answer?
Well, to win the part, you're going to need a plan. You can't just show up on set and hope for the best. This is a casting call, and you need to know exactly what the director, and in this case, the director is the AI, is looking for. So let's quickly define our main stage. When you hear people talk about SGE or the search generative experience, we're really just talking about these AI-powered summaries, the overviews, that Google now puts right at the very top of the search results. That is the stage you want to be on. Luckily for us, there's a script. We're about to walk through a proven 8-step blueprint from the source material that basically acts as your production schedule for getting cast in those AI overviews.
So here's the high-level view of our shooting script. It's broken into 4 key production phases. Phase 1 is kind of like pre-production. You're mapping out all the questions your audience asks and then writing content that's designed to be easily quoted. Phase 2 is set design. You're layering in the technical backstage data called schema and making sure your brand is seen as a consistent character or entity everywhere. Phase 3 is all about publicity. You create echoes of your expertise across other trusted sites to prove your authority. And finally, Phase 4 is post-production, keeping your performance fresh with content updates and always monitoring the results.
Let's dive into Phase 1, writing for extraction. This is all about making it absolutely effortless for the AI to just lift your lines for its summary. We're talking about content that's about 800 to 1,200 words long, and you got to structure it with really clear question and answer sections. You want to use elements an AI can just grab verbatim, like stat boxes, tables, and bullet points. And this is critical. Include an author box with credentials. You have to signal your expertise to the algorithm. Now, let's bust a common myth you might be hearing on set. Some people are saying that foundational SEO stuff, like backlinking, is dead in the age of AI. That's just not true. Your site's authority is what tells Google and other AIs how often to visit your site and how much weight to give your content in its training. Authority is still your ticket to the audition. Simple as that.
And get this, here's a super important piece of direction for keeping your content in the spotlight. BrightEdge found that pages that have been refreshed within the last 90 days are 3 times more likely to show up in AI overviews. Freshness is just a massive signal of relevance, so you absolutely need a process for making regular, even small, updates.
Okay, so does this whole production plan actually work? Let's check out the dailies from a real-world case study and see the results for ourselves.
This is just incredible. So a SaaS payroll startup, they started with just a 14% share of voice for a really important prompt. And worse, the AI overviews were quoting their competitor. After they put this blueprint into action in just 21 days, that's 3 weeks, their share of voice shot up to 59%, they became the number 2 cited source, and they saw an 18% lift in their sales pipeline, all directly from AI-sourced leads. That's a blockbuster hit right there.
Of course, no production gets made alone. You need a talented cast and crew, and in this case, that means having the right tools for the job.
So this shows some of the key players you want in your crew. You've got platforms like Brand24, which lets you track how often your brand is mentioned in AI answers compared to your competitors. Then you've got Schema app. That's your technical set designer, helping you build that structured data that AIs need to really understand your content. And a tool like BrightEdge acts like your analytics department, showing you the exact moments your content is being cited and, just as important, where you're losing the spotlight to someone else.
All right, we're getting close to the final cut here. Let's wrap this all up into the essential logistics you need to manage for your own big production. Here it is, your final production checklist. First, map your prompt constellation. That's all the related questions your audience is asking. Second, build those extraction-ready pages with the right technical schema. Third, you got to build corroboration echoes by getting your key facts and data mentioned on other high-authority sites. Fourth, if you can, offer a direct data feed for AIs to pull from. And fifth, set up always-on monitoring. Remember, getting a starring role isn't a one-time win. You have to keep earning it, day after day.
So as the credits roll, here's the question you really need to ask yourself. In this brand new era of AI search, is your content just going to be an unnamed extra that nobody notices? Or are you ready to follow the script, nail the audition, and become the headline star?